Okay, so this video is the video for how to print, technically publish, all of your sheets to a PDF. Once you have all 13 sheets done, see, so here's ISO 3, ISO 4, ISO 5, and you can see the scales of them. And I'll have this someplace for you to look at so you can see the drawings, the details, the dimensions easily. But before we get into too much of that, I want to show you how I dimensioned this one. This one was by far the hardest one. So I'm going to delete these two dimensions off of here. And I'm going to go to ISO dims. And so the problem is, this dimension from top to bottom is 1. But because it's an ellipse, it's hard to grab it in the right place. So I'll give you some examples. So I should get a dimension of 1. So if I dimension it from here to here, see, I get 1.15. If I dimension it from this quadrant, I could do like from here to here and drag that out. 0.79. What I finally figured out to do that worked was I took a line and I went to here, I believe it was, and I drew up, and then I drew down, and then I was able to dimension. There's a whole bunch of reasons why this was the right place to grab, but this worked. And then I get a dimension of 1 here, and I want to put a dimension of 0.5 also in here. So if I pull that in, so that's how I grabbed those, just as a point of reference so that you know that that's there. And then I deleted this line out after the fact. You can do all of the things you need to do to make that right. I'm going to undo all of this now so it goes back to the way it should look. So that's what it should look like. You know how to do the other parts. Make sure that you're getting your top, front, and right side on each view. I added these. It's up to you if you do or you don't. I made another layer. I called it labels. But that was just so that I could easily find, drawing 8, drawing 9, drawing 10. It should be the right one with the right number on it. Other than that, you should be in decent shape. I'm sure there'll be some little snafus, but so once you have all of these things done, every drawing, all 13, and then I did this last one. I'll leave it up to you as to whether or not you want to do this, but I made a tab called 1 through 13 so I could put them all on one sheet. I'm not going to make you do it. It's up to you if you want to or not. I do think it's a nice little thing to add, but I had a hard time. If you notice, the scale is custom. The annotation scale, one of the more annoying things about annotation scales, it's hard to make it like smaller. So, like if you remember, we made our annotation scale 3/16 of an inch. Well, 3/16 of an inch would fill this whole page. So if I double click on this and put it in a scale that it fits, see 2 to 1, now my, I go 1 to 1. I think 1 to 1 will fit the whole thing. No, not 1 to 1. Sorry, 4 to 1. 5 to 1 was the one. Right? But my dimensions are really big, and I can't control that with annotation scaling on. So what I did was I put it to 1 to 1, 2 to 1, sorry. I put it 2 to 1, and then I zoomed in. I guess it was 1 to 1. 1 to 1. And then I zoomed out so that you could see. Actually, I think it was 1.5 to 1. So then I could zoomed out so you could see the dimensions and get it the way you wanted it. The last part of this was with the scaling and the dimensions. I don't know. It doesn't matter, I guess. All right. So when you're going to plot, when you're ready to print, you're going to go to File, and you're going to go to Print, and you're going to go to Batch Plot. And so when you do, it'll bring all of your drawings up here, all 13 drawings. You're going to change this to .dwg to PDF. So right now it says publish to a PDF, which is fine. So change that .w to PDF. Get rid of this first one. We don't want that, so hit the minus button here. And so I should have 1 through 13 or 14 sheets, depending on how you did it. And then say publish. It'll ask you for a name. Mine was Duff Isometric 7 or whatever, so I'll leave that as the name. Yours is, you know what, it ultimately should be duff.isometric, so that's what we'll call it. So then we'll say select. It says, do you want to save this current list? It's up to you. Basically, so you don't have to create the list again, you could say yes. I'm going to say no. I don't really need it again. And then it says printing in the background. And if you look in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a printer kind of moving. And so if you hold your mouse over it, it'll tell you what sheet it's on. So I'm going to say close to this. It's printing in the background. It says publish job in progress. In a little while, it'll tell you what number of what sheet it's on. But eventually, it will come up, and it will just show up in the finished folder. So, like, here is my one. I did this earlier, my duff.isometric. So, eventually, yours will show up where you told it to go, like this. And so, there's sheet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way to 14. So, then this is what you're going to hand in. You're going to hand in your drawing, and when you're done, that should be good. If you have any questions, good luck and go to work.